You're asking about SEO, yeah?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so you can see my score here is 99.72 for the term Facebook fan page marketing. Okay, so that's my term that I'm using for my keyword. My keyword density is 1.36%. Now, underneath it, you'll see the keyword decoration stuff here, okay? So I've got to have one of the keywords, so this is the keyword or key phrase. It's got one of it somewhere's got to be bold, one of it somewhere's got to be in italics, and one of it's got to be underlined. Okay, so what I tend to do, italics is Control-I, so see this button here? That's italics. I tend to put this one towards the end of the post. Okay, so what we're talking about here is on-page SEO. So you need to have your keyword in H1 tags. Okay, now H1 is heading 1, H2 is heading 2, and H3 is heading 3. So if you have a look at this heading here, Facebook fan page marketing, which is my keyword, grow your business. Okay, so see this part here? So we've got heading 1. Okay,
Yes.
so I've just changed the paragraph. I re-click that, turns that into heading 1 or H1 tag. That's what it's called. Right? So it makes it look like this here. Whoops. So it makes it look like that.
No.
Got that?
Yep, yep.
Okay. The next thing you want, so you can see here I've broken up.
How did you get?
What's that?
How did you get the Facebook icon on there? The Facebook
That's just an image.
picture.
I'll show you how to do that shortly. At the moment, we're just looking at SEO, and images form part of that as well. Okay. So the things you'll notice.
Yeah, correct.
The things you'll notice is I've broken this up into smallish paragraphs. Okay, and each paragraph has like a heading for the paragraph. Okay, so each one of them has a heading.
Okay.
So you can see down here they have a heading for the paragraph. Now I only want one H1 tag at the top here. Okay, the other ones, now I'll just go back to this one here, is a H2 tag. Okay, so you can see how it's slightly smaller.
H2. It is, yeah.
Right, and all I do to get to that is click this drop down here, and I can choose what there's a little scroll thing here, and I can change that to whatever I want. All right.
Yes.
Normally you want H1, 2, and 3. I don't worry too much about the others. Okay.
Right.
And then so you just apply. So we'll go back. So I've typed. Let's say I've typed that in. Okay, as a paragraph like that, and then I just highlight it.
Yep.
And then I click the H2 tag like that, and that'll apply it like that. Now notice that what I've done here, I've gone Facebook fan page marketing is my keyword. I've got the semicolon thing or the colon thing, and then I've got a statement before the beginning. Okay, so this paragraph is all about getting started with Facebook page marketing before you begin. All right. So this one here just talks about why you want to do it. You'll see in my example here, each of my headings for the paragraph is a H2 tag, followed by, for the keyword, and professional business page. Okay, so each paragraph is defined by the heading. Right, so it does two things. You get H2 tags in here. You get additional keywords that look normal. They look like they should be there. Right? You don't want to just put keywords in there and start stuffing them all over the place, because believe it or not, your density, you don't want it that high. I normally prefer a little bit lower than that, but anywhere between 1 and 1.5%, in my opinion, is okay, because you don't want to get slapped by Google.
1 and 1.5%.
Yeah, that's what I aim for. It's not. either side of that's
1
okay.
and 1.
So 1 to 1.5%.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. So pretty much for most of the heading. Hang on, mate. For most of the headings, I've got H2 tags for the paragraph. Okay. I'll put one of those, generally the last one. This one's a H3. Okay. So that's a H3. So my structure, the way I build my blog post is the very first one is a H1. The very last heading is a H3. All the headings in between it are a H2. Okay, so that's how I structure mine. Right? I make sure that they're, H2 are always bold, so that you've got them standing out. It makes it easy for the reader to go, okay, what's this about? Okay, Facebook fan page, marketing, grow your business. All right, so before beginning, professional business page, update your page, getting likes, build engagement, conclusion. I've got a video in here and a little bit more information. So you've got to try and make sure that your pages flow, okay, and they make sense, and that the words aren't just there to fill spots. They actually provide value. Okay, that's critical, that you provide value based on your subject, and in this case, our subject is Facebook fan page marketing. Right? So you could have milking cows, or bees, or fishing for salmon, or growing your own herbs, or how to bake a cake. Okay, or how to make money online, or how IMGlobal is so cool to use to build your business online, or how to build a list. The topics are endless, but what we're looking for is a structure, okay, which in this case I've got, my structure is H1 tags for the heading, which is standard, H2 tags for your paragraph headings, okay, and with the last one being H3. I always chuck a image in, so these are images just here, okay, and I always try and chuck a video in. The video is not always my own, okay, but I always try and chuck those in. All right. Now, with images, okay, so before I go on, are you happy with that?
You've got it laid out pretty good. I think if my blog's off on the same layout as, I don't think I'll get lost on that.
Yep.
That's pretty good to follow.
Yep. Okay, so I'll just touch base a little bit with images. Images are pretty simple, okay, but there's a couple of things you need to do with them before you actually put them into your post. Okay, so for example, what I mean is this one here is, the image is Facebook fan pages, okay? So I've already obviously put this in here, but to get them in, all you do is you go to Media, Add New, and then you can upload it, okay? But when you upload it, make sure you change the file name of the image to your title. Okay, so for example, you'll see on this one, this one here, okay, this is the title that I chose for this image, okay, Facebook fan page marketing. So it has the keyword that I'm targeting in the file name. Okay, the other thing you'll see is the alternative text. I've got Facebook fan page marketing. So what that means is, if I hover over the image on the blog post, you can see that it says Facebook fan page marketing. All right, so that's part of the keyword that I'm aiming for. Same with this one. Okay, this one will have the same. Okay, I don't think I've done it. No. All right, so those two things are critical for your SEO, and as long as you do that to all your images, then you'll be fine SEO-wise. It also helps with your score. And then you just put the images where you want. Okay, just make sure they look aesthetically pleasing, where they're positioned, and they're relative to the content that surrounds them. That's the only other.
To the content,
Yep. So this image, Facebook fan pages, is obviously relative to this subject. Okay. So in this post, I've got 3 images. I've got this one here. Okay, I won't. Okay, and all that is a screenshot I've taken of my fan page. All right, and I've done that because it promotes me. Okay, and it's mine. I'm not promoting anybody else. So it's all about branding you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Same with this one. This is just I'm offering some free Facebook training in here. As an example, and once again, this is mine. Okay. This is a video I've got here. So this one looks like this. Okay, runs for 2 minutes 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to play it now, but it just gives a bit of an overview on fan pages. Okay, it's basically 6 steps to a fan page that rocks. So you can see the title there. All right, now, so if you can,
did you do that video yourself?
Yeah, I created that. Okay, if you can, create them yourself. But what you can also do, if you found a video on YouTube or somewhere like that that's relative to your product or your what you're talking about, try and find one that doesn't already have a link to something else in there, and you can embed that into your post as well. Okay, but this is part of the your learning process. For now, you'd be happy to use other people's videos that you can embed in there, and that will help with your Google page rankings. Okay, so the other thing now I need to show you. All right, so let's have a look. Okay, so you can see this bit of text here. Okay, that's a link. Okay, now that's an external link. Okay, so that links to my coaching fan page on Facebook. Okay, so that's an external.
Facebook. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So people will find this and it will link into there. Okay, so that's what's called an external link. You do need at least one of those. What else have I got? Okay, so here I've got this one. This is the underline. Remember we were talking about the underline one?
Yes.
So that is a requirement. And then I've got another external link there. I could have used, if I had some other posts in here, I could have improved the link by SEO a little bit more by having an internal link. Okay, so this image here, I've made that an internal link. And what it means by internal, so as you develop your blog posts, you'll find that some posts that you do will be relative to other posts that you do. And so you might have a link. So down the bottom you may have a link to your other blog posts. Okay, so it could be, you might have, say, catching salmon 1, and it'll be what gear to take with you. And then your next post might be what stream to look at. And if you haven't got any gear yet, go and have a look at blog post 1. So you interlink them, and that's an internal link.
Yes.
Okay. And that's really about all there is to it. So you can see I've got a bolded fan page statement there. Okay. And then that's pretty much all you really need to do for on-page SEO.